Yep. Did you
I'm
just start
recording. Yeah, I'm recording as well. Welcome back, boys and girls, to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, episode number 12. I am, of course, Coulter Fair, aka Astro. Along with me is Rogan Prescott.
Oh, Coulter, it's always good, dude. Not hearing your voice is always a good sign. It's going to be a good episode, you know? It's just, dude.
Yeah.
Well, starting off the night right with some new graphics for the stream.
Dude, Rogan put in some serious legwork right in this this overlay that we're looking at here, dude.
Well, dude, everyone knows you're carrying this podcast, so it's like I got to do something.
I mean, I do carry the pod, but I think everyone needs to know that we are going live on Twitch every Tuesday, and it's going to be between 7 and 7:30 in that range. I think we can commit to that.
Yeah. Also, we aren't really good with times, so turn on the notifications if you actually want to tune in.
But who knows? It'll be around somewhere in there.
Yeah,
and that's of course Pacific Standard, obviously the only time zone that matters. So,
yeah.
What's going on, dude? How was your week? Do you have any announcements this evening? How is episode 2 treating you? I'll let you go first,
good, dude.
Because
we have, yeah. I mean, dude, we've ran into this quite a bit. I think you always have a hard time of getting to this position after getting your rank. Anyways, it was good, dude. I did my placement matches. I placed into Platinum 1, and then I ranked up to Platinum 3, and I am holding Platinum 3. Dude, a lot of people were smacked this episode. Should we get into it now? Should we get into the hard news, or should we do it later?
I think we're gonna have to get into it eventually. But so overall, it sounded like you have a pretty good start to the season, is what you're thinking.
Dude, I'm starting off good, man. I'm feeling
You're
a
feeling
little puckered,
good,
dude. Yeah.
And,
There's no easy way.
There's no easy way to get this out, dude. But I as well did my placements for the new act, and I mean, I don't want to say it's maybe it was a little bit lower than I had hoped, right? I think that's safe to say. And I ended up landing in in Silver 2. Dude, Silver 2. It's very, very unfortunate, right? And I played my placements with Eric, with Rogan, and honestly, okay, I didn't play for like 6 days, and then I jump on and we go straight into ranked. Like I've never been so cold in my life, right? But the other side of this is, like, once in a while, maybe once every act during the placement phase, I like to stand from my throne and stretch my legs, and I walk out to my balcony, right? And I look down, and I look at all the common people, all of you peasants, right? The jewelry makers, the sheep shearers, the brick masons. I see you all down there. And I have just a sliver of compassion in my heart. And so I grab like 2 or 3 of my peasants and I have them carry me down from my tall empire. I have them carry me down to the grime, to the filth that all of you guys resided. And they carry me down on a nice soft velvet pillow. And when I reach the last step, I step out. And it's just, I just want the community to know that, like, you can talk to me. I'm not the god that you look at me as, right? I'm a human being just like you guys, right? And so I like to mingle with the common folk, with the villagers, and so I have lowered myself to your level for a limited time, obviously. So if there's anyone that is really cracked and wants to run some silver games, like maybe you were in diamond and you found yourself in silver. I'm not saying I want to have you carry me, but I think that maybe we can sort something out that will work out for both of us. So if there's anyone out there, it's actually kind of fun though. I have been playing with some friends in bronze, but I don't know, Rogan. What do you think about this? What do you think about the rank so far? Like, it seems I think the pot has been stirred, for a lack of a better term.
I think you probably didn't get hit as hard as other people did, right? Like you were playing with diamonds, you said, and like higher tier diamonds.
Well, that's what's interesting. Like
I've noticed a lot of like, there was like an Immortal 3 act rank. I showed you a picture of him. Mm-hmm. And there was another one the next game with the Radiant win. And they were in like Platinum 1. So I mean that must hurt for them. I mean, obviously the highest rank was Platinum 3 to rank into. But
well, dude, that was the thing. Like when I was playing my placements, I was playing with you and Eric. So the people that we were going against were like Plat 1s, 2s, 3s. And I don't know, dude. I mean, we got hammered. Like there was one game where all three of us were on the bottom of the leaderboard getting just rammed. So I think there were just a lot of good players. Obviously, I can barely hang on to platinum as it is. So toss in maybe a few diamonds and up, and then I'm really out of my league. So I kind of got hammered. But I think other people did. Because, I played with... Dude, I was in a silver game, and there was a diamond... There's a diamond 1 and a plat 3 that were in my game. And it's like, they were insane. So I don't know.
Dude, Valorant is a battleground right now. Just fighting.
It's a battleground out there. Yeah.
Fighting to live off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't think we're going to be able to see the people's real ranks until, even maybe a month out.
Right.
I think it's going to take some time for people to get their ranks back, but
I think the dust
it'll
will
eventually
settle.
sort of. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But this episode, everybody, is going to be about Omen. And let me just check my phone here. We got a message on Instagram. And Instagram is turning out to be the best way to get a hold of us. And this boy, his name was Caleb Hill. And he mentioned that he was an Omen main. And so Rogan is also an Omen main, and we thought that this would be a good opportunity to talk about Omen. I mean, he's an agent that is played a lot, and so that's how we came upon this topic. And then we do actually have a question from a fellow Instagrammer. Rogan, are you wanting me to read this question, or do you want to take the reins here?
You can read this one.
You want me to fire away?
Yeah.
This is coming from Lingo on Instagram, and I'm just going to read his message word for word here. Hello, Kings. And I appreciate that, Lingo. We are, in fact, your kings. So
just know your place, listeners.
Yeah, exactly. He says, I'm a peasant, bronze-stuck gamer. Just began my Valorant journey a month ago. Before, I was a sweaty Fortnite swine. So, Rogan can relate to this, as he was a swine once upon a time as well.
Yes, I was.
So, And he goes on, he says, some of the biggest issues I've run into is lack of communication / cooperation from my teammates and lack of direction to give my team guidance when nobody else is stepping up to the plate. I have a hard time learning and excelling at the game because of difficult teammates and Smurfs. And then he adds, what do I need to do to get into the Royal Castle? Well, number one, Lingo, you'll probably never find yourself in the Royal Castle unless you're tending to, sorting out books or tending to my sore feet, maybe a little back massage. But I mean, the Royal Castle is, it's up there. You look at Eric, what he had to do, right? He's a rat, and he's in the Royal Castle.
But he's still a rat.
But we're trying to kill him any opportunity we can. So I wouldn't keep your hopes up for that. But this is a great topic, and I think that we're both happy to cover it. So, Rogan, I kind of want to get your thoughts on. I mean, we got a bronze player here. He can't get out. He's fighting with his teammates. There's no communication. There's Smurfs, etc. What's your advice here for this gentleman?
Yeah, there's no good way to go about it. The lack of communication and Smurfs, that's kind of almost an RNG thing. You're always gonna run into that. I think we always run into that. One huge thing, dude, is that you gotta find at least two boys, or at least one boy just to help you climb. Not even that, like, maybe your same rank or like one rank higher, just a boy that you can communicate with, that you can make plays with. Having that one other person is very critical. If you don't, Valorant has an official Discord. If you guys have Discord, I have joined that, and there's a lot of low elo players looking for teams. All you do, you just type in their chat LFG, and then your rank and when you're gonna play or whatever. It's super easy to join the Discord. Then pretty much people just direct message you or just message you from within the chat, and they're going to be like, hey, like, I'm this rank, you want to play? And those are people who really want a good team, right? So, like, finding someone else who is competitive and who wants to win is good. Because, I mean, you can play with a friend who's just not in it, right? Like, they just want to play Fortnite. They want to be a swine. They don't mind. They want to be in the mud, just rubbing their nose in it. But then you have the people who want to ascend into this Royal Castle, which you won't, like Coulter said. But you might be able to get maybe some sandals, right? Maybe to help those feet from walking on those bare rock. So just find another like peasant, even just to grab on that back. Dig your claws in like Coulter has. Just make them bleed. Just, dude, if you can't shed your own blood, or if you don't want to, just take someone else's blood. Just rip them apart. Latch onto their back. Just hug that man. Yeah. And just let him literally just carry you up the halls to Valhalla.
Yeah.
All right. Like,
yeah.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. I have done that before.
Well, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
If there is a Smurf on the other team or your team, friend him. Literally beg him. Like, just be like, hey, queue up with me. It won't hurt you because I'm decent at the game. You'll still rise the ranks. I'll just rise with you.
Exactly. Yeah,
and then
very
ditch
true.
him. And then unfriend him and report him. And leave him.
Yeah.
When you reach gold. Those are my tips. It's hard, man. It's so hard. Dude, you just got to play the best you can. Another tip is just play a duelist. If like frag out as much as you can. Because there's lack of communication. There's Smurfs. If you're by yourself, you can't find anyone. Your only way to winning is literally just to get as many kills as possible and just like literally get 3 kills every round. And also stay alive too. But just like frag out as much as you can. Like, don't play Sage if you can't get any kills with her. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
no. Great,
What are your
great
thoughts,
advice.
man?
Well, I'm right along with you. I personally took the raccoon route, right? And I just dug my claws into the backs of my friends and family, and I had them carry me to glory. And it's nice to look down on the village people, right? And so I understand why you want to get out of here. It's very difficult in Valorant, guys. Okay. On a serious note, I'm gonna get serious with you here, guys. Like in silver, I'm coming across players that are insane at aiming. Like it's interesting the difference between like a silver player. Of course, this isn't all cases, but like I met this kid. He was a jet main. Guys, he fragged out like 33-5 in gold, and he was in gold 1. And he told me that he had never gotten out of gold in his life because like just the constant bad teammates, the Smurfs, like he would get close to getting into plat and then he would like fall all the way back down because he would have 18 games straight of losing. And it's like, dude, this kid was insane, dude. He was better than a lot of the platinums that I was going up against when I was in platinum. And I think the same holds true probably through every rank. And so, like you said, your biggest enemies here are the lack of communication. Like you said, nobody is stepping up to the plate when things are going down, when things aren't going your way. Someone has to bring the team back together. When the comms go silent, or maybe they're silent already, it is very, very hard to win a Valorant game. It's such a team game. And so Rogan is right. You have to almost play for yourself, which totally goes against any kind of law. Like that's a bad habit to make, but it's almost necessary, I feel personally, to get out of those super low ranks because teamwork is not even in the question. And I've been experiencing some of this in these silver games that I'm playing. Because I know that when I'm 16-9 and then the person below me is 5-11, then it's like I'm carrying a lot of the weight. And so what I've realized especially is if you know that so say you join into your bronze game and you know that you're the best in the lobby, stay alive, like Rogan was saying. Because even if you get 2 or 3 kills and then die, you can't really count on your team to win that 4v2. And that's what I've been dealing with. So I think staying alive is key, trying to get those clutch rounds, like Rogan was saying, play an agent where you can use their abilities to get kills and just have high impact on the game. That's going to be a duelist sometimes, whatever it is for you. But just play for yourself. If no one's talking, just make as many callouts as you can. And and like Rogan said, play with other people. Join that Discord. It's super good. People are looking for people of all ranks. So you can find a home there. But great question, Lingo. You're not alone, brother, right? There's other villagers on the low end. They don't have sandals. Their feet are bleeding. They're squabbling. And I understand why you want to get out of there. So just keep working on it, dude. Hopefully this encouraged you a little bit. I think the main takeaway here is just to add as many good players as you can. I think that's your fastest way out. But anything else to add, dude? Said. I just I poured myself another hot cup of I did run out of my hot drink and I had to get a little more. So I did in fact pour myself another steaming hot cup from my freshly pressed French press decaf Pike's Place roast and just running the creamer. So do you have a hot drink tonight, dude? We kind of forgot.
I just plowed it. It's gone. It was just another quad shotter, homemade espresso with some creamer as well.
Nice, dude.
I'm glad that you're still running the decaf.
Yeah, dude. I can feel. Yeah, I can feel it having its effect. However you want to take that. Well, man, maybe we should start unboxing this episode, dude.
Let's do it.
So, my just really quick thought on Omen. My first thought is I think that if he's played correctly, he can have a bigger impact even after the nerf, he was just changed. I think he still can have a bigger impact than Brimstone and Viper. He's a controller. And so Viper and Brimstone are the other agents in that division. I think he can be better if he's played right. I think Omen is a little bit more complicated to play than Brimstone, but I do feel like he can kind of outclass him in just what he can get out of his abilities. And then I think he's just a lot more flexible than Viper. So I think as a controller, I'm happiest to see Omen on my team. But that's just my opinion. What are your first thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely way more useful if he's played right. I think a lot of people play him poorly. I think we're gonna get deep into that and how to play Omen correctly. He's a really fun agent to play. I think that's kind of why I enjoy playing with him. He has a lot of potential to outsmart the opponent. There's a lot of almost all of his abilities he's able to use them in ways to get around them or just to pretty much confuse them. I kind of like that aspect where he pretty much just makes it unable for the opponent to know where he's at. Right? He has a lot of abilities that just kind of confuse them, make them kind of frantic, which I really like. A big amount of uncertainty plays into him. So like whenever he teleports, the opponent doesn't know where he's going to be at or when he is. So the reason why I played him is just because I think it's for that reason. Being able to do that is really cool. He's also neat how he can be aggressive, but also play very defensively. Playing around his smokes is very important. But yeah, man, I kind of started playing him, I would say like 3 months ago. I used to play Reyna and Sage. And then after started playing Omen, I just kind of got into him. Enjoyed how he can outsmart the other agents, and I stuck with him. So
nice, dude. Do you want to? You have been playing Omen for a long time. You have a lot of time in on him.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through Omen's abilities?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. First ability we're gonna cover is Dark Cover. It's a smoke. It's gonna have 2 charges. He has both of them right when he starts a round. It replenishes after 30 seconds. It's hollow inside. His smokes are hollow, so unlike Brim's smokes, Omen can see the entire smoke when he's inside of it. Right. So when he smokes, it lasts about 11 seconds after the initial creation. So even if he smokes it across the entire map, that countdown for 11 seconds will only start after the smoke is initially placed. So that's something I wasn't aware of, and I know some people weren't, but 11 seconds compared to Brim's 20 seconds, which is pretty substantial, but I would say it's still relatively long. His smokes are affected by gravity, so this is really big. The only smokes that are, he can just land them on any surface that he wants to, or place them up in the air, and they'll fall down until they reach the ground and then stop there. It's interesting on how the gravity is played. There's a lot of potential with him, and I think that's a pretty big like signature ability that he has.
Mm-hmm.
The next ability is Shrouded Step. This is his teleport. 2 charges, 100 credits each. It's just a short range teleport. It makes him very invulnerable. Very vulnerable when he's teleporting. It's used. So pretty much all of his abilities, they kind of are used together. So like make sure this teleport is kind of used with the smokes and all of his other abilities. So just using them into smokes is very important. You can use them into other people's smokes. And then Paranoia, it was 200 credits, but now it is 400 credits. So that's a pretty big substantial nerf to Omen, making that way more expensive. It pretty much just reduces the vision of enemies, and it also makes them deaf, so they cannot hear their surroundings at all. So using this with your teleport is very important as well. It can pass through walls, it's the only flash that can. It's very extremely wide, so you can use it for big hallways. It does take a while to put out. It's not like a quick flash like Phoenix is, so be careful of that. Blocks their hearing, like again, which is really big. They can't hear the shrouded step. Which is also a huge signature move from him. And then his ult from the shadows. This is just 7 ult points. When he ults, it can be destroyed. After when he ults to the location, people can shoot it and it'll break. But when he ults from his location, the original location that he is at, you can die from it when you click it. There's a short amount of time, so use it in situations where you know you have like 2 seconds that you won't be shot at.
Quick question on that, dude. Is there a range like that he can use it?
Like no, like the entire map. He can
the
ult,
entire map.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He can ult the entire map. Just choose any location where he wants to, and he'll teleport there.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and as right when he initially goes down on his location, the vision will slowly increase after he like starts appearing there. And then once he appears, he can see everything. But you can also ult and then cancel right away and go back to the original location that you were at. But those are pretty much all of his abilities. They're just really used all together in the most efficient way. You want to use them all together, just using the paranoia and shrouded step in the best way you can. But yeah, man. I think do you want to go into all these abilities now?
Yeah, dude. I kind of want to just, I don't know, like you've played Omen more than anyone I know, and I think I kind of want you to just go through like each ability, like go through dark cover, and you know, it's kind of what you like about it, how you use it, and kind of do that for every ability. And then I was gonna give, you know, my thoughts on Omen, playing with an ally Omen, that kind of stuff. So if you want to kind of go through these abilities and, you know, tell the people what you do, then I think that'd be good.
Sure.
That'd be helpful.
So dark cover. Dude, I feel so bad about this, but we have a fellow listener who kind of slammed us.
It was Caleb. It was Caleb Hill.
Well, yeah.
It sucks. I feel like trash.
And
we gave the people some misinformation. Right?
The stupid little blob that Omen throws, the enemies can't see it. And I never really thought about it until the episode. And that's why I kind of just said it, that you could see it.
How did we mess that up, dude?
The enemies can't. I know. So this when Omen does his little smoke, there's a little blob that follows it that you can see, the person who did it. And your allies. Your allies can see it. Your allies can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So they can know where it's going. But
I think that's what confused me. Is like, because I knew that I was seeing them, but I mean, that was a little embarrassing for us. So
I am an Omen main, and I didn't know that.
Well,
I do apologize.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like I said, we start out with 2 smokes, and then it's a 30-second timer after you use the first one. So a lot of people don't use your smokes right away. I use my smoke almost instantly because, especially with their nerf, so they decrease the time where it travels, how fast it travels.
30%.
30%. Yeah,
that's
30%,
insane.
Pretty huge. It just travels slow, man.
Yeah.
So throwing a smoke right away for attacking or defending, just throw it, man. Even if you're not going to go on that site. Or like do it in the best position you can, but right when you throw it, you got it's going to be 30 seconds until you get that other one. So it's like, if you're just going to be holding 2 of them, that timer's not going to be counting down. And, you know, you're going to use 2 of them like right sequentially, and it might not do as good because they take so long to travel.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to get that timer down, and then you're able to get another smoke out of that round, and if it goes long, possibly a 4th. So that's really important. Just don't be precious with your smokes. Just use one right away. If you're not, I mean, you can hold them, just don't hold them for a while. These smokes, like I said, they're affected by gravity, so use them as one ways are really big. On split, some of the walls, you can throw them inside the walls and they'll stick there. They won't be affected by gravity. and it's like a red arrow. So if you see that red arrow, it'll just land right where it's at. And I know you can throw one on on split, on main when you're defending, and it'll get a really good one way if you're watching from CT. That's a really big one. And looking on the mini map is really big. So you can see where that smoke is, and then you can see when it engages. So a lot of people, when I'm on Ascent and someone's telling me to smoke mid and CT, so like Ascent, mid is huge, right? And usually someone always smokes mid and cat. I'll throw down smokes there, and then as it's traveling, my enemy will peek out and just get one tapped or get shot by an op. And he's like, "Why didn't you smoke that, man?"
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I did.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Oh,
But just like tell your teammates, be like, hey, like, just wait till my smokes go down. I'll always say that. Be like, hey, don't peek right now. They're not down yet. Looking on the mini map, it'll show when they're engaged, so be careful of that. Just wait until they're actually done, and then you guys can peek out of that mid. Being careful of that. The nerf was huge. Just, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I keep on like I don't really want to talk about it because it's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Omen smokes were incredibly fast, but
especially now, guys, just be careful if you get that call out from your Omen. Hey, smoking mid. Your mini map is big here because it's nothing like it used to be. I mean, it's not going to actually land for a decent amount of time. So I think that's a big point to drive home.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot longer.
Well, because I've been killed. I've swung out thinking it's going to be, because I like to get it while it's dropping. And because like you said, you kind of get that one-way effect. Like a lot of times you would put it a little high. And so it's just that timing, right? And I'll get used to the timing now. It's just, it's going to get there a lot later.
Jet, do not smoke where I smoke. Do not smoke where I smoke.
Are you talking to me here, dude?
Well, I'm talking to every Jet player, so if you're a Jet player, you should know.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Dude, the amount of times Coulter and I have smoked the same area, wow, it's a nutcracker for sure.
It's a nutcracker for sure, dude.
Dude,
yeah, it's
every
bad.
Time.
Well, it's just because I'm just cracked. I'm just going off the cuff, dude. Like I'm just slapping keys. And it's like
you don't even know what keys you're slapping.
Oh, dude, I am just absolutely going ham. And so I can't always know what you're going to do because I'm just reacting, dude. I'm just reacting to the situation. And so, yeah, but do watch out for that. The double smoke, is like what could it be compared to? It's almost like a Lindor truffle because there's some smoke on the inside of that smoke,
I've never had a truffle like that, so yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on. Yeah, that didn't land like I wanted it to.
No, it didn't land, dude. So moving on to Shrouded Step.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's get past that.
Shrouded.
So this is like the short range teleport. This allows you to play aggressive angles. Or just allows you to play in areas that maybe in cubbies where you can escape out of. But be careful when you do play an aggressive angle with Omen. His teleports are not instant. It does take a long time. So let's say you're playing a cubby where the opponents are right around the corner, or you're looking at a corner that's really close from you. And yeah, you're gonna teleport there. They won't expect you because you teleport like right when the round starts. They're not going to expect you. You peek. And then if you get a pick, their 4 other guys are going to push you right away, and they're going to be able to kill you without you being able to escape, unlike Jet. Like Jet, her dash is instant, so she's able to play aggressive angles. So Omen, you can play aggressive angles, but play aggressive long angles. So what I mean by that is just if it's a big distance and you're peeking like a long ways away in a different area where like they wouldn't expect you using that TP, then you're able to get that kill, and then you can teleport away or throw down a smoke and cross some area,
Yep.
and they're not able to push you right away. If you are playing an aggressive short angle, just let your teammate know, be like, yo, like, these guys are going to rush me. And then you can just have somebody like trade you. Because then you're getting a kill, they're getting a kill, and you know you got numbers then. So it's you can play it aggressively, just play in a way where you can get out of it, or you have that amount of time to escape. It's just very important to play not play very short angles. So when you teleport, I think I've seen a lot of omens do this. You guys might not know, but right when you teleport, you're able to turn your mouse on where, like, what your location that you go. You're able to turn your mouse to point where you want to look after you TP. So you can like jump, TP, turn the other way, and you're going to be looking that direction that you're currently at. So pretty much what I'm saying is that if you TP a cubby, you can turn Omen and like have your crosshair already on this angle right after you land, just so you're ready and you're waiting for it. Because if you TP and you're looking straight still, you're just going to be looking at a wall.
Right. Yeah.
So like always look in the direction where you want to go. You can also fake people out if you TP and look in like a direction, and they might think you're TPing that way. So you can always like turn your mouse, kind of like get some maybe info when you do that. That's another important thing. And you can also use these to fake out enemies. So like I said, omens, you want to confuse the enemy as much as possible. So you can TP in cubbies where they're not expecting it, or you can just TP right next to yourself, and then they're going to think that you're in that cubby possibly, and they're going to check that. Just even if they don't check it, it's just an uncertainty. They just don't know if he's going to be there or not. So I think it just gives you the upper hand.
It does, because there might be a threat for them there.
Yeah. Yep. I have a video out on Instagram where I do a fake TP, and this Reyna, she peeks out of the smoke and checks this angle where some omens go, and then I just kill her right when she's looking at that angle.
Yep.
And completely catch her off guard. I've done it multiple times, and it works really well. So even if it's not gonna, if you don't think it does much, just do it anyways. If you don't feel like taking that, if you don't feel like committing to that teleport, it's also a safe teleport usually too, and then it just makes them look where you might not be. This is also important to use your mini map. You can actually see it's like a purple small little circle on your mini map that shows where you're gonna TP. So if you lay down a smoke and another smoke, and you're gonna TP to the smoke, you can see if you're able to TP into that smoke. So like if you're in like a brim smoke and you can't see a dink, you just look on your mini map and you can see if you're gonna make it to your smoke. So using the mini map is really important. I also find myself, a big mistake that I make when I'm using the TP is that I'll equip it and I use it right away. I click instantly because I just want to like use it really quick, right?
Right.
And usually there's a little arrow that shows up and it shows like where you're going to TP. And I sometimes just TP right in front of me. Like I don't even TP, and I don't mean to do that, but I just click right away because I'm not looking at the preview because I kind of like expect it to go in front, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've just played him so much. So for like beginner Omen players, kind of like TP when you like, or like even higher players, just like look, take a split second just to see and make sure where you're gonna TP is where you want to be, and just being careful about that.
Yeah.
And your TP, dude, it's so many people who just die instantly.
Oh
like,
yeah.
They just like they TP and it's like they're just gonna take a risk and just go right in front. I mean, I've done it. You've seen me done it. You've commented.
Oh yeah.
You tell me how much of a pleb I am, and it's all right.
Well, I have to strike any time that I can, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of the nature of a raccoon. It's like I have to make you bleed when I have the opportunity. Yeah. So of course I point it out. Yeah, of course. Oh. Why is nobody watching the stream, dude? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, this is just pathetic. Well, I mean, you put in 10 plus hours to make a sick overlay, and I am the only one watching. Well, there's literally not one person watching this, dude.
I think that's kind of like what we want, though. right?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind some common folks in here.
Joking.
Some commoners. Like, maybe, I don't know. Bring in a little sheep herder. Somebody.
Hey, the common folk are poor.
It's like, who are we talking to here, dude? Are we talking to nobody? Yikes.
Well, just for the people who listen to this podcast, I mean, you guys know that next Tuesday we will be live.
Just on Tuesdays, just tell your wife, your boyfriend, whoever it is that's
your kids,
whoever's in charge of your life, tell them between 6 and 8 you're off the schedule. You're unavailable.
Got finagling to do.
You got advice to take. You've got cheeks to clap.
And the kings want you.
Exactly. We're personally calling to our village down below. I'm personally on the streets with you boys, and no one's here. So I want to throw that out there, right? I'm kind of I've brought myself to your level, right? I'm here, and no one else is here. Like, there's no one here. I'm the only one. So, anyways, continue, man. You were talking about the. I just had to bring that up. I had to let it out. It's disgusting. Yep. The teleport, yeah.
Yeah, so the teleport, use the minimap, really big. I think that kind of covers the teleport, and then I'll cover paranoia and go back to the teleport. So paranoia, it pretty much just like a huge blind, very wide blind. I sometimes can blind like 4 to 5 enemies sometimes, or like 3. You can blind a ton of people with this one. It's just a huge advantage to use it in situations where you can. Using it with your teammates is big. So, like I said, it takes a long time to pull it out and just fire away. So if you're using it in like early game where no one really has gotten a pick, and you use it and then you peek out, those 5 guys or 4 guys are going to be able to kill you probably. And it's hard to get a pick because it just takes so long. So using it with your teammates is really big. I know it's sometimes hard to follow with examples, but this is something Colton and I did on Ascent. We're holding A, defending, and A main is like, I can blind through that wall from when I'm like on A site and blind where all those people are, and then Coulter can dash with Jet, and he's able to get there while all those people are blinded, right? And he's able to get a pick or 2 or 3. So using it with that is really important because you can go through walls, so I can use it with other people. That's pretty big. Another huge thing, if it's like a 1v2 or like if you're playing like a duel right now and it's just like a one-on-one situation, everyone else is somewhere else, and you know this guy's in cubby, you can blind him and then just teleport as far as you can in a certain direction to like in a direction where you can see him, and he can't hear your teleport, so he doesn't know that you're teleporting, and you're able to teleport and see him and then just land a one shot when he's completely blinded still. This is so huge. Or when you can hold on sight, you're defending and you can hear the bomb being planted, you blind him and then you can teleport in a direction and then just one tap him. So pairing these abilities is really big. When you paranoia somebody, you know that he's going to be blinded. Just before you teleport, be sure that you did hit him. If you know he's in this spot, you can blind him. It's a huge radius, huge area of effect. So just get him in that, like, get it in that general vicinity, and then you can go for that TP and get an angle.
I think this was like a big jump for you in your performance with Omen. Like, I kind of remember when you really started to do this regularly, or like, I don't know. I remember a time when it was like you would never do that, and then you really started doing it, and it was just a good utility to have up your sleeve. And it's just so hard to get away from that blind, right? Yeah. There's like you said, if especially if someone's defusing or planting the bomb, you're pretty much gonna land it. I mean, unless it's a jet that can dash away or etc. But this is a big tip for new Omen players.
And you can't turn away from it either.
No, there's no way. Like the only way to get out of it is to like actually move out of its cone of the blinding effect, and it's just too wide to run away from if you're even close. So that's
and
really
if
good
you're
advice.
if you're using the paranoia on your minimap, you can actually see where your teleport's gonna hit. So, oh my gosh, Coulter, we have some big news.
What do we got here, boys?
There was no audio on the stream.
Dude, there's no way.
Which is fine. We haven't had a viewer except until now.
Well,
it's fine though. It's fine.
Dude, that's the biggest yikes I've ever seen, dude.
We're recording on Audacity,
dude.
So we're all right.
Yikes,
and we can just combine the two. But holy cow, dude! Thank you so much for telling us.
Who is it? Do we know?
It's Zenkai. Oh, let's go. He's saying we're good now.
Holy smokes, dude.
Wait, he said it was on his end.
No,
I think it was on our end.
It was on our end.
Because I saw them. Dude. No way.
Yikes, dude. Because
we are lucky.
Oh man, dude. That's insane.
That's huge.
That's insane. Well.
Okay, anyways, using the minimap for your blind. Using the minimap. Okay, when you're using paranoia,
let's get back on track here, dude.
Yeah, I gotta get into it. You can see it on the minimap, so it shows the fatty white line that it's just gonna absolutely smack them at. So it's gonna be beautiful. Just almost every single ability that Omen uses, just use your minimap. It's massive. That's a huge thing. Use it with your enemies or use it with your allies. That's really important. And moving on to the ult, Omen's ult. This I have died so many times by this. So many times.
Yeah, dude. This is the big one.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Yeah.
It's rare.
Well, dude, yeah.
So
I mean,
you can TP wherever, like on the map, right? If you're TPing early round, the only place you can go is the spawn or in a smoke that you lay down, or like the enemy's gonna hear it. You can hear it pretty clearly.
It's such a fat radius, dude. It's a fat radius.
Yeah, you can hear it from so far away, so they're gonna know you're there. The best luck I have had using it is using it in spawn. I think that's because I know that no one's going to be able to get there before I'm able to like confirm it and then get my gun out. So using it in spawn, it's also tricky, but it's usually like one guy who's checking spawn. So if you're able to get that kill, or you can paranoia right away if you hear him, you're able to get that kill, then it smacks the enemy. Everyone's going to be moving around. But honestly, most often I will fake it. I teleport right next to me and then I cancel right away. And they can't hear the cancel. And then when you do that early round, people are just going to think like, oh, Omen could be behind me.
Dude, they can hear the cancel, brother.
No, they can't hear it like everywhere.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's just a radius. Close. I'm saying if you TP, like if you TP next to yourself, I'm saying cancel it right away.
Yep.
And if you're in your spawn, then they won't be able to hear it, and they're just gonna be. It's just gonna be constantly, just an uncertainty. So being able to do that is huge,
right?
Very high risk. Just be careful with it. I mean, yeah, it's huge. So that kind of clears all the abilities that Omen has. There's so much potential for them, dude.
I'm ready to just let it rip, dude. I'm ready to just you've been talking for too long.
Yeah.
For too long. And I'm ready just to
we've been
tear
muted,
into this.
So now that we're not.
Well, thank goodness for the viewers, right? They didn't have to listen to 45 minutes of your voice.
The viewers, there was one, dude. And that was yourself.
Well, I was the only one tortured by all the monotony.
Yeah.
No,
we'll mute myself on the podcast.
It's just 40 minutes of silence.
40 minutes of silence, yeah, and then you kick in.
No, dude, yeah, you pounded out some advice. So I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on Omen. And I'm fairly uneducated, but I do think he is a great controller. I think he's the best currently, even post nerf. I think that the fact that his smokes cool down and can be reused, like Rogan said, it's like, oh shoot, dude, I think I just lost the here we go. Like Rogan said, you can get like 4 smokes out of a round, especially if you drop one early, which you kind of want to anyway. Like no matter what controller you're playing, you want to get as much map control as early as possible. That's kind of your job as a controller. So even putting down both of those, like 30 seconds goes pretty fast and you have another smoke ready to go. So I think that's a huge part of Omen that the other controllers don't have. I think that the plays that he can get out of Paranoia are insane. I think I mentioned it on, the last podcast. I think this is the best flash in the game, and I'm not the only one with that opinion. It's insanely long range. It goes through walls, and it, like Rogan said, taking your hearing away is actually bigger than it seems. Like even like a Reyna flash, man, just anything that takes away your ability to hear what's going on is huge. And that opens up massive possibility for his teleport, especially if, he's blinding multiple, right? Like we've all seen plays where, the Omen gets behind 3 or 4 of their players. And that's just, you're not doing that with very many other agents outside of Yoru now. Yeah. So his ability to get behind opponents and, like you said, play mind games with people is very big, and Paranoia is what's making that happen. And so when it comes to the teleport, I think that the way that an Omen uses this is what separates the good Omens from the peasant Omens. I think when, where, and how you teleport is huge. It's like a bad Omen, it's almost a detriment to them. Like, I mean, just like a simple example is like an Omen puts down a smoke right in front of you, and then you hear him teleport into it. It's just super easy to read, and I'm not trying to dog on like the low Omens. It's just this will get you killed because I'm already pre-firing that smoke, and it's like an easy kill for me. And this is, a lot of what a low Omen teleports amounts to is like, it's just giving me information. So I think having an Omen that knows how to use the teleport is really what separates the good ones from the bad ones. That's what I'm getting at. As far as his ultimate goes, I think, in my opinion, it's the most underwhelming part of his kit. I think that, I don't know, dude, like you kind of touched on it. Like it's good. It's great for fakes and getting the plant on an unexpected site. Like if you go A and then you rotate to B, you can get the plant there faster.
I had that in my notes. I forgot to mention that.
And I do think that there's some value there, especially when the timer is running out, right? Like if you're 15 seconds left and you know that they're on the site that you're near, so you don't have the time to rotate, being able to get that plant off through his ultimate is big. And I don't want to, make it seem like I don't see that. It's just, like you said, it can lead to you dying as well. Like his teleport can. If you think you're in a corner where no one heard you, but I did. Well, I'm going to wait half a second so you fully complete that teleport. And while you're trying to hoist up that Vandal, I'm going to smack you.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as, I mean, it does apply some pressure, like not knowing where the omen is after an alt, right? You're sitting there and you always have to take into consideration that he might be behind you. And I think that that is the biggest. I think that's where he gets the most value, in my opinion. Whether he cancels or not, you have to take it seriously that he could be behind you. Um, and I mean, you could argue that his ult can be used for, information gathering, but I just think it's too expensive for that. Like, it's just, that's a super expensive way to get info. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about like, you got a Sova that has his dart, repeatedly through the round, and then you're using your ultimate just to get like a little bit of information. I feel like it's underwhelming. But
Yeah.
obviously Omen is an insane agent and is picked often for that reason. So those are my thoughts on Omen. I
Yeah,
kind of had no, go for it. What were you gonna say?
Just to mention a couple smokes that I do, and like teleports. It's sometimes not bad to to take a risk with the teleport. I know I did like say that it's just don't take risk, but there's like those times where like if you think that you're able to get a really good play and able to get behind the enemy, then I would do it. So let's just say, for example, on bind, when we push A mid, I can teleport. I can throw a smoke on truck and heaven, and then I can smoke. I can throw those smokes, and then I can teleport on top of truck, and then teleport down into CT. Not where my smoke is on heaven, but down in that like little side cubby.
Yeah.
And able to get behind them with that. That's a big like teleport sequence I can do. Using both your teleports at once, you can get pretty far with it. So if you're able to do it without the enemy knowing, that's really big. Just taking those risks, and I sometimes do that, and it's sometimes huge for me. Like I can get 4 kills with it or something. There's a bunch of different ones. I think I'll have to go over it in depth with a whole stream about it, and just doing a bunch of different combinations that I use. But just like being able to pair those together and just use them in different ways is really big.
Yeah. So I just jotted up some questions. As as a player that's never played Omen, these are some questions that I would have. So I just wanted to run these by you and get some answers out of you. So I know that you play Omen on every map, but if you could only play Omen on one map, what map would that be?
Oh, I would say Ascent, because of the potential that you have in mid. You can TP on top of the walls on mid, and you're able to get really high peaks and really different peaks from it. You can push out of mid pretty easily with your TPs and smokes. I like how you can TP onto A site pretty easily with smokes as well. I think the map layout, it's kind of wide, so having smokes on that map is obviously huge. Being able to smoke mid,
Right.
I feel like I can never really trust somebody who smokes, or like I never really like how they smoke. So I kind of have more control of that, like where I'm gonna place my smokes, how I want to take site. I kind of have like the ability like to decide that, right?
Exactly.
So having that's pretty important. I think Ascent, the map is kind of set up that way. I don't really like prefer a map over one of like another with Omen. I do play Omen on every map, and I found a bunch of different ways to play him on those. I don't think he's that agent that like excels at amazing on one map.
Yeah. No,
He
I
might
think
play
you're
better,
right.
but it's not a huge difference. So, but I would have to choose Ascent.
Right on. All right, and then I got, what general play style are you playing with Omen? And so, like, are you often in the back behind your team? Are you up front? Are you with the team? And why do you play like that? Whatever that might be for you, and why do you think that's the way he should be played?
I do switch it up quite a bit. I think I would play more defensively and in the back more often. or kind of on the side. If I do play aggressive, I'm gonna be TPing into a cubby or into a different angle, and then maybe TPing out or just getting a different angle on somebody. Probably, and I'm gonna do that once every single round or every single match. If I do that once, I will not do it again. Maybe one more time, but that's max.
Okay.
I usually like switching up with Omen. I don't really like playing one side at all, like every single time. I do op quite a bit. So like on Haven, I'll TP on top of mid one time, get a peek there, and then TP like on C site on some of those boxes and shoot down C long.
Right.
I'll always play different sites usually. When I'm playing like attacking, I'll usually play kind of like in the middle of the group, just providing smokes and then being able to use a paranoia. Another thing to mention is that when you're using the paranoia, be aware of your mini map on where your teammates are, because the paranoia it instantly starts out as wide, like from both sides of you. So if your teammates are even pretty like even at all in front of you, you're gonna blind them and it screws people up. Like I used to do that. I barely ever do now. A lot of omens or a lot of low elo omens, they do blind their teammates mostly every time. Almost every single one
it's
they
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they play behind the team and then they throw that fat flash and it just...
Well, and they think that it's not going to hit them, but it always does.
Yeah.
It's a lot wider than you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would say more defensively, just... I would say it's just so good to switch up his play style. Like, I don't think he can be played like offensively every single time or aggressive every single round, because he just doesn't have that quick way to get out.
Right.
So I would just say he's a great agent to switch up your play style with. Always do something new. Play defensive, play aggressive. Just to switch it up.
Sweet, dude. And then my last one here is, what would you tell a new peasant, an inspiring Omen main, one of your measly little followers, one of the measly little squires that looks up to you? What's one thing that you would tell them that you wish someone told you when you were starting out on Omen?
I would say don't rely on your abilities to get you kills. That's going to come with time and just with playing. A lot of people, they'll just like... this almost goes with everyone, is that people think that they have to use their abilities to kill people. And then they feel like if they're in a weird situation, they're just going to like throw a smoke down right away, you know? Or just throw a blind. And if it's not going to help you at all, then just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I would say just if you are starting out, I would play in the back. Don't play aggressive. Playing aggressive is very dangerous. It's very risky. Those teleports will often get you killed. Just kind of, if you're going to TP or if you're going to blind, just kind of put yourself in the position of your enemy. Like, okay, I'm throwing this smoke down on site, and they're going to hear my TP noise, and they're going to hear it in the smoke. You know, what do you think they're going to do? They're just going to walk in there and kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
So just kind of like put yourself in the enemy perspective, and then kind of play off of that, right? Like, if you're not getting kills, if you're just starting out as Omen, you're not getting kills, don't like feel like you just can't play him. Like, keep at him, but then just like support your team, right? Just like throw paranoia in the back through the walls when you haven't pushed on the site, or just throw smokes for your teams. You have so much, almost all of your abilities can be useful to your teammates, right? Just play as a team. He's a hard agent play. I think it just comes with time.
Yeah. Yeah, knowing his limits, it feels like knowing what you can really get away with and then what's going to get you killed, that probably comes with just hours, like you were saying. I mean, just from what I've seen playing with you, I think that, like you said, watching those teleports is probably the biggest thing. Like for someone that's just starting on Omen, I think just kind of maybe... like new Omen players, I think it's cool. Like, I mean, you see the same thing with Jet players. Like when they just start, they're dashing everywhere, and I think you can kind of get that same syndrome with the teleport on Omen. And I think it's a lot more strategic than people think. And so I think that's good advice, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Also using your smokes, since they are affected by gravity. if you smoke an area up really high, and as it's traveling down, you can TP while that smoke is like in your general vicinity. And then as the smoke falls to the very bottom, you're going to be on top of a box and you'll be overlooking the smoke.
Oh,
I
yeah,
use
I
that
see.
all the time. All the time is just using the gravity. So like just smoke it high on like the line of sight where you're going to be teleporting. Teleport. They can hear your TP, but sometimes they won't expect you to be high. They might expect you to just be in the smoke.
Yeah.
I use that on Ascent a lot. So just being careful of that. That just comes with time too. I think like it is hard to do, hard to execute. It's a very small window that you can do it on. But
yeah, awesome, man. I don't really think I got much to add. Like, it's hard for me to have a ton of opinions about Omen just because I don't play him, and so
I have a question. How do you feel about playing against him? What do you like struggle with, or playing against a really good Omen?
So I think a lot of it is paranoia. A really good Omen that really knows the limits of paranoia, like as far as its max range. I think I mentioned it before. I've been hit with some really crazy paranoias that I didn't know could be done. It took me off guard how far, the ability went and such. And so, I mean, paranoia is a very, very big part of Omen. It's really scary. I don't like 1v1ing Omen for that reason. Like if I get into a 1v1 situation and, the enemy Omen has paranoia, a teleport, and a smoke, it's going to be hard for me to win that just because if he lands that paranoia, and I have no way out, it's like there's not much you can do. It's pretty much a done deal. So, like I said, a lot of the lower elo omens that I go against, I'm not very scared of because sometimes I feel like I can just read them really well. Like,
Yeah.
if I know an omen isn't great on the enemy team and I hear him use his ultimate, I'm instantly running to my spawn and I kill him before he even has his gun up, And so, but going against a good omen, like you said, I think it has to be that paranoia, dude. It's so big.
Yeah.
It can just change rounds, Especially if
Yeah, it
they're
really can.
coordinated. Like if the enemy team is coordinated and they're running plays and, they're using teamwork to capitalize on the paranoia, it can be insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, another one, guys. We're running a few viewers in the Twitch. Hello.
We are glad you guys did not tune in earlier because we did have our mics muted for approximately 40 minutes.
So good timing, Tim. It's nice to see you, brother. We're actually kind of just wrapping up. What do you? Any other questions, dude, that you have for me? I mean, I know I'm just a peasant, but
have you ever played Omen, man?
Of course, I haven't played Omen, dude. You always insta-lock Omen like a little peasant.
Would you ever want to? Like, what makes you want to play Omen?
I think it's just the like you said, the outplay potential, the mind tricks that you can play. If there's anything that would make me want to play Omen, it's that. Like those plays, like the paranoia and the teleport on an enemy is disgusting. I mean, it's just you can do so much and they're totally confused and you just one tap them and they don't know where they're looking. My favorite is when they just start shooting, right? Which is sometimes my response. You get paranoid and you just start shooting, dude. Tim Barat, dude, how do I get out of silver? Well,
you don't.
I'm with you, brother. I got placed into silver too, right? If you had been here on time at 7:15, then you would have heard the announcement section, but you weren't here. And we should run some games together, dude. I'm in silver 2 from plat 1, so it's like kind of a big fall for me. But guys, just if you're not here live, for the peasant little podcast listeners, this just got wild. on Twitch, dude. It's on another level, dude. I'm a sexy boy. Rogan, not so much. But I mean manageable though.
Dude, I can tell. Dude, seeing you with your webcam, it's making me feel a little weird, dude.
Whoa.
You are one sexy boy.
Dude, I'm a sexy boy, and I mean, I got some musk on me right now too. I'm unshaven, and so I know that gets some girls and boys a little riled
girthy.
up. I mean,
such a girthy
dude.
Man.
But
well, I say we wrap the podcast up, and we can
I think so.
Talk to the few viewers that we got.
I think so, man. I think. What's your final thoughts on Omen here? Your final.
Omen, he's a great agent to play. People just go in customs, figure out some TPs that you can do, figure out how his TPs work. Knowing his abilities, kind of like throw a smoke down from up really up high, and then TP when it's like going down, and you can kind of like feel on how to play him more. When he does TP, just like be aware that people can hear you, so use your paranoia with that. Just be careful playing him. But then I think as you play him, you'll start to use his TPs more efficiently and use his abilities better. But good luck to all the Omen players out there.
Yeah. All right, dude. Take us out of here, man. I think this is a wrap.
Well, you guys have been listening to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, episode 12 with Omen. We covered Omen. I'm Rogan. Joining me is Coulter Fair. He's a scoundrel. He's a rabid dog. And yeah, he does live on the streets with you guys. He's with you right now. He's a silver peasant.
Well,
and he is looking for those sandals too.
Well, I mean, I'm still in my royal shoes, right?
Well, you are. You have the shoes on.
All right. I'm just mingling with the common folks, right? So they know that that I feel their pain. Right? That's all. Continue.
Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure. We both hope you guys have enjoyed. Please follow us on Twitch and Instagram. Instagram Flow State Gaming Official. Twitch Flow_State_Gaming. Hope you guys all have enjoyed. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.